The Battle of Thermopylae, fought in 480 BCE, stands as one of the most iconic and dramatic confrontations in ancient history. It took place during the Second Persian invasion of Greece, led by King Xerxes I, and involved a small coalition of Greek city-states, led by King Leonidas I of Sparta, facing an overwhelmingly larger Persian force. The battle's strategic significance, the heroism displayed by the vastly outnumbered Greek forces, and its role in the broader context of the Greco-Persian Wars have ensured its lasting legacy as a symbol of courage and sacrifice. The origins of the Battle of Thermopylae can be traced back to the rise of the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great and its subsequent expansion under his successors. By the time of Darius I, the empire had become a vast and powerful entity, encompassing regions from India to Egypt. The Ionian Revolt of 499 BCE, in which several Greek cities in Asia Minor rebelled against Persian rule, set the stage for conflict between Persia and the Greek city-states. The revolt was eventually crushed, but it led to Persian desires to punish Athens and Eretria for their support of the rebels, resulting in the first Persian invasion of Greece in 490 BCE. This invasion ended with the famous Battle of Marathon, where the Athenians achieved a surprising victory. In the aftermath of Marathon, Darius began preparations for a more extensive invasion to subjugate the Greek mainland. However, his death in 486 BCE delayed these plans, and it fell to his son, Xerxes I, to carry them out. Determined to avenge his father's defeat and to expand Persian influence over Greece, Xerxes amassed one of the largest military forces of the ancient world, gathering soldiers and ships from across his vast empire. The Persian army, reportedly numbering in the hundreds of thousands, although modern estimates suggest a figure closer to 100,000 to 150,000, began its march towards Greece, supported by a massive naval fleet. In response to the impending invasion, several Greek city-states formed an alliance, known as the Hellenic League, to resist Persian aggression. This alliance was a remarkable achievement, given the frequent rivalries and conflicts among the Greek cities. It was agreed that Sparta, renowned for its military prowess, would lead the combined Greek forces. The Greeks devised a strategic plan to block the Persian advance by utilizing the narrow pass of Thermopylae, located between the mountains and the sea. Thermopylae was chosen because its terrain nullified the numerical advantage of the Persian army, forcing them to confront the Greeks in a confined space. In August 480 BCE, King Leonidas I of Sparta led a force of approximately 7,000 Greek soldiers, including 300 elite Spartan hoplites, to the pass at Thermopylae. The Greeks prepared their defenses, knowing that they faced overwhelming odds. Leonidas and his men were aware that they were effectively a delaying force, tasked with holding the Persians as long as possible to allow the rest of Greece to organize its defense. Meanwhile, the Greek navy, commanded by the Athenian general Themistocles, prepared to engage the Persian fleet at the nearby Strait of Artemisium in order to prevent the Persians from outflanking the Greek position at Thermopylae. As the Persian army approached, Xerxes sent emissaries to the Greek camp, demanding their surrender. The Greeks, led by Leonidas, refused, determined to resist the invaders despite their numerical inferiority. The famous response of Leonidas, Molin Labe, meaning "come and take them," in reply to Xerxes' demand that the Greeks lay down their arms, encapsulates the defiance and resolve of the defenders. The battle began with a series of Persian assaults on the Greek position, but the narrow pass and the superior discipline and equipment of the Greek hoplites allowed them to repel each attack. The Persian soldiers, many of whom were lightly armed and unfamiliar with the tactics of the Greek phalanx, suffered heavy casualties. The Spartans, renowned for their military training and skill in close combat, were particularly effective, using their long spears and large shields to devastating effect. For 2 days, the Greeks held their ground, inflicting severe losses on the Persian forces and maintaining their position despite the relentless pressure. On the 3rd day of battle, a critical turn of events occurred. Ephialtes, a local Greek, betrayed his countrymen by revealing to Xerxes the existence of a mountain path that bypassed the main Greek defensive position. This path allowed the Persians to outflank the Greek forces, threatening to encircle and annihilate them. Upon learning of this betrayal, Leonidas held a council of war and decided to dismiss the majority of the Greek troops, allowing them to retreat and regroup for future battles. He and his 300 Spartans, along with a contingent of Thespians and Thebans who chose to stay, resolved to make a last stand, knowing that it would likely result in their deaths. As the Persians moved to encircle the remaining Greeks, Leonidas and his men prepared for their final confrontation. The Greeks fought valiantly, displaying remarkable courage and discipline despite being vastly outnumbered. The Spartans, in particular, became legendary for their bravery, fighting to the last man in defense of their position. Leonidas was killed in the fierce fighting, and his body was fiercely contested by both sides. The Spartans' last stand, although ultimately unsuccessful in preventing the Persians from advancing, became a symbol of heroism and sacrifice, inspiring future generations with their willingness to lay down their lives for their homeland. While the Persians won the battle and continued their advance into central Greece, the resistance at Thermopylae had bought crucial time for the Greek city-states to prepare for the next phase of the conflict. The Greek naval forces under Themistocles managed to hold off the Persian fleet at Artemisium long enough to allow for a strategic withdrawal, preserving the Greek navy for future engagements. The ultimate objective of the Greeks was to defend the narrow Strait of Salamis, where they hoped to engage the Persian navy under more favorable conditions. The significance of the Battle of Thermopylae lies not only in the courage and sacrifice of the Greek defenders, but also in its strategic impact on the broader Greco-Persian wars. Although a tactical defeat for the Greeks, the battle delayed the Persian advance and demonstrated the effectiveness of Greek military tactics and discipline. It also galvanized the Greek city-states, reinforcing their resolve to resist Persian domination and uniting them in the face of a common threat. In the months following Thermopylae, the Greeks achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Salamis, where the Athenian-led navy defeated the Persian fleet, significantly weakening Xerxes' ability to supply and support his land forces. The following year, the Greeks secured another victory at the Battle of Plataea, effectively ending the Persian invasion and securing the independence of the Greek city-states. The legacy of the Battle of Thermopylae has endured through the centuries, celebrated in literature, art, and popular culture. It stands as a testament to the power of determination and unity in the face of overwhelming odds. The heroism of Leonidas and his men, and their willingness to sacrifice everything for the freedom of their people, continues to resonate as a powerful symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression. In the modern era, Thermopylae has become synonymous with the idea of a courageous stand against overwhelming adversity, inspiring countless individuals and movements across the world. The battle's enduring legacy serves as a reminder of the enduring human spirit and the capacity for ordinary individuals to achieve extraordinary feats in the name of liberty and justice.